I gotta tell you about Arizona's newest tactical unit of self-proclaimed Goon Squad members. No, I'm not making this up. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to Mesa, Arizona's finest tactical park rangers. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Southern Draw Law. My name is James White, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, former police officer. You know, it's got to be hard being a park ranger, a glorified possum cop, if you will, constantly being outsmarted by Yogi Bear. You're not like a real cop. You don't get your own riot gear. You don't get to accidentally forget your body cam or to charge it, or you don't get to mute it to protect yourself from being implicated in whatever cover up you're facilitating. Hell, you don't even have a body cam. You definitely don't get to carry your own AR-15 with cutesy words of affirmation on the dust cover of the ejection port for when you unlawfully shoot someone and you need to tell yourself that that guy deserved it. But maybe, just maybe, if you work hard enough harassing homeless people, harassing citizens on public land, stealing firearms from people, and writing enough citations to meet that not quite a quota, you too, yes you can own your own knockoff Punisher patch, complete with a lightning bolt, a rifle, and a little skull to help you cosplay as a Tier 1 operator while you're checking fishing licenses or whatever the hell they do. Look, don't take my word for it. Let's go out to ABC News 15 for the official story.
It's a story you saw first here on ABC 15. Major shakeup in the city of Mesa's Park Rangers unit. The unit will now be under the command of Mesa PD after police records allege park rangers mistreated people who were homeless and passed around an internal Goon Squad patch.
Right now, the city confirms an investigation is underway. Here's ABC 15's investigator Nicole Grigg with the details.
This is a photo of all the park rangers posted by the city of Mesa last year. We have blurred all their faces and we are only identifying one person at this time because he is the only one who has been arrested. None of these rangers are patrolling the parks tonight, and you're about to see why. They called themselves the Goon Squad, and City of Mesa park rangers could allegedly earn a patch as a makeshift reward for gooning. What is that? A 60-plus page police report alleges that some rangers would go out gooning, and they would plan on beating up black people and the homeless.
My client was a park ranger.
Last week, a Mesa park ranger was arrested accused of possessing a stolen gun.
Mr. Amato, you were arrested yesterday.
Joshua Amato facing a felony charge. The Mesa police report alleges that a park ranger overheard Amato and another ranger saying they took a pistol off a person they described using a racial slur.
He and his partner were out doing their job.
Mesa police were called to the ranger station where they say they found the gun in Amato's desk. He claimed it was taken from a man experiencing homelessness and he forgot to turn it in. But this investigation is about more than just the gun.
So today, there's no park rangers here.
There is not. I haven't seen a park ranger vehicle.
The ABC 15 investigators confirmed that the Mesa Police Department will now take over the city's park ranger unit, as several rangers are under investigation for allegations of criminal activity. This woman lives in Mesa. She's against police taking over command of park rangers.
And to me, it's like Mesa always promotes itself as a transparent, community-first city. But how can that be true when there's a major decision happening quietly behind the scenes? And it's all based on internal meetings, not public consensus.
The investigation alleges that some rangers went beyond the scope of their job duties, along with accusations of excessive force. It looks into concerns of drugs being confiscated and not turned in, whether there have been any sexual encounters involving rangers while on duty, and the alleged creation of novelty patches and challenge coins. Park rangers do not have body cameras, so we do not have video of the alleged gooning. We do know that Mesa police did take a patch into evidence. The city wants to make clear that the city does not condone the existence of a Goon Squad patch, saying they're deeply disturbed by the preliminary findings of an ongoing investigation into allegations of criminal activity and any wrongdoing. They go on to say several park rangers have been placed on administrative leave, and the ranger facing a felony charge has now resigned. We will continue to follow up as this investigation plays out. I'm investigator Nicole Grigg, ABC 15, Arizona.
Nicole, thanks. City of Mesa would not say how many park rangers are under investigation, but they did confirm they've also initiated an external independent investigation. Now that Mesa PD is taking over command, we're told rangers will go through the same background checks required of all new Mesa PD personnel, and they will be given body cameras in the future.
Yep, they made up their own word, gooning, which is apparently a substitute for violating people's rights under the color of law. We really need to focus on this patch, though, because this is where the satire ends. You might be thinking this is a joke, but I promise you it's not. No, these guys had these things custom made. They didn't draw them on napkins and pass them around. They weren't using crayons and joking about. They weren't shared in a private group chat. They were professionally manufactured and paid for insignia, complete with the kind of symbology that makes neo-Nazis nod in silent approval. This isn't just in bad taste. This is a window into the deeper rot in Arizona law enforcement culture. It's not like ABC News hasn't spent the better part of the last decade highlighting the failures of Arizona law enforcement. You guys remember the name Daniel Shaver, right? He's the unarmed man who was crawling on his hands and knees, sobbing, begging for his life in a Mesa hotel hallway when Officer Philip Brailsford shot him with an AR-15 with an ejection port cover that was custom engraved with the words, "You're fucked." You can't make this up. Now, Brailsford was charged with murder, but he was acquitted by an Arizona jury. Then he was rehired and pensioned, and the city moved on. Do you think Daniel Shaver's family was able to move on? No. And yes, you didn't mishear me. The Mesa police unanimously approved the medical retirement of Philip Brailsford and sent him home to recover from his harrowing experience of murking a man without justification, and they gave him a $2,500 monthly pension forever to boot. So I have to be honest with you, I'm a little bit concerned when a group of Mesa park rangers, city employees, start calling themselves the Goon Squad and start creating unit patches featuring skulls, lightning bolts, and tactical gear, and start allegedly targeting homeless people for sport. The idea that leadership was unaware isn't just naive, it's actually insulting. But let's dig a little deeper on this patch. A Punisher skull, co-opted by military and police to signal vigilante justice. A lightning bolt, disturbingly reminiscent of the SS symbolism associated with Nazi ideology, with a baton. And the message? We're the cops and the army. And the term Goon Squad, proudly emblazoned like it's a badge of honor, when it literally means state-sanctioned thuggery. This isn't accidental. This is branding. This is a mission statement. Now, I'm not here to suggest that the lightning bolt, which is not shaped or oriented the same way as the Nazi lightning bolt, is a symbol of white supremacy or some evidence that these guys were involved in some sort of white supremacy cabal. What I'm saying is that when the visuals you choose borrow directly from authoritarianism and violent extremist aesthetics, you are telling us exactly who you are, and it is our responsibility to believe you and take you at your word. You don't design a lightning bolt patch if you don't want to strike fear. You don't call yourself a Goon Squad unless you like being a bully. You don't associate these ideologies with your official police uniform if you don't see a parallel that exists. And you don't wear that badge of honor unless you're confident that no one above you in leadership is going to make you take it off. So in closing, while the city of Mesa scrambles to disband this unit, reassign oversight, and plug the PR leaks, I have a different, more serious question for anybody who's listening. How many other units like this exist across the country, but they just haven't been discovered yet? How many other officers have "You're fucked," or some other stupidity written on their dust covers, or Goon Squad patches, or even worse, attitudes that haven't been stitched into fabric, but have been stitched into culture. How many commanders let this nonsense go on until someone just won't shut their ungrateful mouths about having their rights violated and their guns stolen by the police? Because are we seriously supposed to sit here and act like this isn't something that leadership knew about? They had a whole system. They bought a fucking patch. They embraced the us versus them mentality and wore it so proudly. What they really did is they created a new gang set of the Thin Blue Line Gang so they could compete with the thugs over in Phoenix for bragging rights. Until leadership actually leads, until policy manuals mean more than t-shirt slogans, the Goon Squad isn't disbanded. It's just in hiding and changing uniforms for theatrical effect and to cover the asses of the leaders who repeatedly fail to do their damn jobs. Anyway, that's all for this one, guys. I just figured I'd let you know what the new happenings of the shithole that is Arizona these days. Hope you got something from it. Hope you'll call the people that matter and see if we can get something done about it. I'd like to invite you over to Substack, where we do talk about some of the stuff that we talk about here, but maybe we'll take a deeper dive into something that somebody said in the comments. And sometimes we talk about things that we don't discuss here, but it's just a community where we can all connect. I've pulled back from the comments because, quite frankly, the channel has been so successful, and I'm very grateful for that. I just don't have the hours to spend in the comments engaging. So if you want to engage with me, the best place to do it is to come over to Substack. It's absolutely free to join, though you can join a paid tier if that's something that you want to do to support the channel monetarily. If you don't want to follow me to Substack, but you'd still like to support the channel monetarily, I'll put my Venmo and PayPal links both here on the screen as well as in the description. Please remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment on the video. Check out some of the other videos on the channel and leave a comment on there as well. Until I see you again, take care. Always film your interactions with the police and keep your evidence to yourself.